If the world is ever attacked by a giant kaiju, Japan will come to the rescue. Giant robot mechs were once confined to the pages of manga, but now they are real. Japan has built an 18-meter-tall life-size Gundam robot in Yokohama, and it actually moves. The 25-ton giant robot is an exact replica of the ones that appeared in the classic Mobile Suit Gundam anime from the 1970s, and it has 24 degrees of freedom. That means the robot can actually move its arms, walk, and even kneel. Let's hope the robot doesn't gain sentience and we'll be the ones kneeling instead. The life-size Gundam will be the star attraction of the Gundam Factory Yokohama Museum, which is set to open next year. Engineers spent 6 years building the impressive robot, and its recent unveiling was an incredibly important milestone. The head of the giant Gundam was purified by Shinto priests as part of a traditional ceremony called Jotashiki, which is typically performed to mark the completion of a new building. The Gundam may not be a building, but it's the size of one, so the ceremony makes perfect sense. The Yokohama Gundam isn't even the first Gundam built in Japan. Odaiba is home to a life-size statue of a unicorn Gundam, but its range of motion is much more limited. The Gundam in Odaiba lights up and has moving parts, but it can't move its arms or walk like the Gundam in Yokohama. Cybersecurity is one of the most important issues today, so it's no wonder that quantum physicists are trying to create a secure internet that can't be hacked. A completely safe and secure internet is possible thanks to quantum mechanics. Quantum networks use tiny particles of light photons to send messages, which is very different from the way the internet currently works. Hackers would not be able to intercept a message, and even trying to do so would destroy the message. Dutch scientists have created a secure quantum internet between Delft and The Hague, and governments around the world are spending millions trying to implement this technology on a wider scale. India has invested $105 million to develop a quantum internet, and the US will invest $237 million into quantum internet research starting in 2021. Japan has one of the most precise and intricate transportation systems in the world, but it's possible that flying cars could make the Shinkansen obsolete. Japanese company SkyDrive Inc. has created a flying car prototype that reached an important milestone last month. The SDO-3 managed to hover for 4 minutes with a person on board. It's the first electric vehicle takeoff and landing aircraft, or eVTOL, to accomplish such a task. SkyDrive Incorporated is miles ahead of the competition, and we are now much closer to a future where roads are obsolete. Imagine a future where you can travel from Narita Airport to Tokyo Skytree via flying taxi. Having a flying car hover with a driver for 4 minutes may not seem that impressive, but keep in mind, companies have been trying to achieve this goal for years. SkyDrive Incorporated finally cracked the code, but the race isn't over yet. Uber and Boeing are also developing eVTOL aircrafts that they hope to have in production by 2023. Following SDO-3's successful flight, SkyDrive Incorporated raised $37 million in funding from the Bank of Japan, and Toyota has invested over $387 million into the company since 2017. If you want to know more about the SkyDrive Incorporated SDO-3, check out our recent video. How freaked out are you by the uncanny valley? Much of us shudder at the sight of a humanoid robot that looks eerily like a real person. As time goes on, androids are going to become more and more lifelike. There's nothing we can do to stop progress. Would you be open to working in an office where the employee in the next cubicle was Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation? Last year, Russian startup Promobot developed a human-like android that can be designed to look like any person on the planet. It's essentially an android clone that is capable of performing workplace tasks. Think of how easy it would be to play hooky if you had an android clone that looked just like you. The Promobot Android Robot C can produce 600 variants of human expression, and Promobot is investing $2 million to produce 7 units per month this year. A Promobot Android Robot C costs between $20,000 and $50,000, depending on the options and features installed. The Panasonic KU robot fridge was designed to help people with disabilities, but we have a feeling it's going to be incredibly popular with lazy people. Why walk to the fridge to grab a Mountain Dew Code Red in the middle of a Call of Duty marathon when you can simply have the fridge come to you? The Panasonic KU robot fridge prototype uses LiDAR tech to navigate your home safely. It can deliver food to you while you sit on the couch, and it can even take your dirty dishes to the sink. Panasonic hopes to have the KU fridge in stores by 2023. We don't know exactly how much the KU robot fridge will cost because it's still just a prototype, but the cost could be as high as $20,000 based on the price of high-end Panasonic fridges currently on the market. Losing a limb is a terrible thing, and amputees have to overcome tremendous obstacles every day. But what if there was a robot hand that could mimic a real hand almost perfectly? Well, it looks like the future is almost here, so get ready to shake hands with the Brain Company Prosthetic Hand. The Brain Company AI Prosthetic Hand is operated via muscle memory, so the user is essentially operating the hand via his or her mind. The robot hand is believed to be far more precise than other prosthetics, but it doesn't come cheap. The Brain Company AI Prosthetic Hand will cost $10,000, but such a life-changing invention will be worth the price for many people. Is Japan trying to secretly make all of us lazy? As if flying cars and robot fridges weren't enough, the Toyota Research Institute recently revealed a gantry robot that can hang from your ceiling and complete household tasks like loading the dishwasher and cleaning countertops. Toyota has developed more traditional robot butlers that can roll on the floor, but this gantry robot is ideal for tiny Japanese homes. The robot was designed to help seniors, as Japan has one of the oldest populations in the world. When the robot butler is not in use, it can simply be tucked away in the ceiling. The Toyota Research Institute was founded in 2015, and so far the organization has spent over $1 billion designing and developing robots. Who knows what they're going to come up with next? How long have we been waiting for self-driving cars? It seems like it's been an eternity, but it looks like we might not have to wait much longer. Waymo, which is a subsidiary of Google parent company Alphabet, operates self-driving taxis in the Phoenix area. The company recently started offering rides without a safety driver, which means that confidence in the technology is growing much faster than before. The robot taxis aren't perfect yet. They still occasionally make mistakes and turn down the wrong street. However, they are quickly able to reroute, and riding in a Waymo robot taxi is incredibly safe. It might not be long until Waymo self-driving taxis are in every major city across the world. The self-driving taxis use LiDAR technology to navigate the streets, and to date, Waymo has spent $3.5 billion developing self-driving taxis. That's substantially more than any other company. If you thought the giant Gundam robot was the only impressive mech in Japan, you would be wrong. The 28-foot-tall LW Monofu robot was designed by engineer Masaki Nagumo, and it's believed to be the world's largest human-operated robot. The LW Monofu is completely controlled by the user within, and the driver is even able to shoot sponge balls from the robot's massive arm cannon. The projectiles can reach speeds of 140 kilometers per hour, but don't worry, they are entirely harmless. Nagumo, who works for farm equipment manufacturer Sakabira Kikai, was inspired by the classic Mobile Suit Gundam anime he watched as a child. He had always dreamed of creating a giant robot mech that could pilot himself, but he is still somewhat critical of his design. The LW Monofu can only travel at 1 kilometer per hour, and Nagumo wishes the robot was much faster. Sakabira Kikai has developed numerous other robots and rents them out for about $930 an hour. Japanese kids must have amazing birthday parties. The coolest thing I had at my birthday party was a piñata. Japan might be the coolest country in the world, but it looks like South Korea might be the new king of cool. K-pop and Korean movies like Parasite are captivating the world, and South Korea is now making incredible robots like the Method 2, which was built and designed by Hankook Mirai Technology. The Method 2 weighs 1.6 tons and stands 13 feet tall. It might be a lot smaller than some of the Japanese robots out there, but it's far quicker and much more limber. Hankook Mirai chairman Yang Hin-jo spent $200 million of his own money to build the robot, which was a collaboration between Hankook Mirai engineers and a Hollywood designer. No wonder the Method 2 looks like something out of the Transformers movies. Hankook Mirai expects that the Method 2 will be used to put out fires and rescue people from natural disasters. The Method 2 also has military applications, and it's possible this high-tech robot could be used to patrol the Korean demilitarized zone. Even Jeff Bezos is a fan of the Method 2. He took one for a test walk at Amazon's Mars conference in 2017. Why do I feel so much like Sigourney Weaver? Quipped Jeff Bezos. Could you picture your next Amazon package being delivered by a menacing robot like the Method 2?